Delhi has now reported its first COVID-related death in this fresh wave of resurgence of the virus. First death due to corona in Delhi has now been reported, especially after 7 deaths were recorded across India in the last 24 hours. Delhi government sources have now said that the patient was admitted to the hospital with complaints of unbearable abdominal pain and vomiting. Tests further revealed an acute intestinal obstruction, after which an immediate laparotomy, that is abdominal surgery, was carried out. Now, post-operation, during the routine testing, the patient tested positive for COVID-19. These are latest inputs that we're tracking from the ground, where first death due to corona in Delhi has now been reported. Now, this comes amid the resurgence of the virus in India. 7 deaths have now been recorded across the country in the last 24 hours. Now, interestingly, Delhi government sources have told that the patient who died last night due to corona was admitted to the hospital with complaints and symptoms of unbearable abdominal pain and vomiting. Now, later tests revealed an acute intestinal obstruction, after which immediate laparotomy, abdominal surgery was largely performed. Now, post the operation, during a routine testing situation, the patient tested positive for COVID-19. Now, let's go straight across to our reporter, Akash. Akash, Delhi government sources say that the patient had come in with severe abdominal pain and underwent emergency surgery, only later testing positive for the COVID. How does that imply, especially when we are talking about the symptoms that comes along with the resurgence of this virus?
So, Kuhina, you see, Delhi government sources are clear that the patient had no prior symptoms of COVID-19. And earlier, in the recent years, when in fact the wave was there, in fact, at that time, we have seen that how patients are coming with some other disease, and then, they are getting affected with COVID-19. In this particular case as well, this seems like the case. Of course, we'll get some more details after a detailed investigation. But as far as, current time is concerned, so sources are clearly indicating that post-operation only and during the testing, they got to know that the patient is, positive for COVID-19. This is the first case of corona, the death of corona in Delhi. Till now, 7 people have died in the last 24 hours across the country. But as far as Delhi is concerned, so we have got several preparations in place. We have RML and LNJP hospitals, all set and all ready for the, sort of things that are required for COVID patients. We have dedicated wards and, dedicated doctors to take care of all these cases. But then, as far as this particular case is concerned, so it has been made very clear that the patient had no prior symptoms of COVID-19.
Right. Akash, now that you've highlighted the preparedness of hospitals in Delhi, is there any word on contact tracing or isolation measures being taken at this particular hospital? And have there been any advisories or alerts coming in from the Delhi government that we are likely to see anytime soon?
SOPs are in place, Kuhina. SOPs are there that will of course be followed. But as far as advisories are concerned, so we have seen advisory from Delhi government just few days back. And in fact, at this point in time, while they are preparing, they are also advising people to not to panic, because this is one mutation which as per experts and the doctors is not very cannot result in any sort of criticality as far as your health is concerned. So, of course, while, they are preparing for any sort of eventuality, they are also saying that people need not to panic, because government is all set and all prepared for the, consequences that can come with the increasing number of cases.
All right, Akash, now I understand that this is a preliminary report, but are health authorities treating this as a COVID death or a case with comorbid complications, especially with the fact, well, change of plans. Thanks for that update, Akash. As authorities monitor these developments very closely, the key message largely remains to the viewers that stay alert and not alarmed. We'll keep tracking all of those updates on COVID cases and all the government response.